Hey guys, it's your girl Jaylah here with another episode of Tech It Up with Cafe Cultura. And I'm very excited because this was right up my lane. From music lover to founder, we have so much to talk about. I have our friend Radim, right? Did I say it right? I
Hi,
butchered it.
Jaylah. Yeah, well, it's pronounced Radim, but yeah, it's close enough. Like
Right. Yeah, I
you can
I
call me
definitely will
Radim.
have that accent. And
So
you
thank you for doing this with me. I'm happy to share my story as a musician and as a founder. So yeah, thank you for the invitation.
I love I love this part of tech is that it has so many different avenues, and the fact that we can now cross the music industry with the tech industry and have founders like you with Art Master. Um, I I can't wait for you to share because I was looking at some of the videos and I got really excited for it because as a music lover, like you just never stop. You always want to learn more. Like I don't know how to do any instruments. So for me, like it was super cool to see all of this. So tell us a little bit more about Art Master.
Well, okay, so Artmaster, it's our company. It's something I started right after I finished my university because when I was a kid, I always wanted to play. I always wanted to play the guitar. So my parents signed me up to this classical traditional way of learning music in our country, which is very old school, right? So if you want to play guitar or piano, you first need to learn a lot of music theory, notes, and kind of boring stuff, right? So I only wanted to play like Nirvana or Green Day or these fun bands that I was listening to back then, and I was forced to play these etudes and classical music, which I didn't really like. I can even say I kind of hated it because that wasn't the reason I started to play the guitar. So then became self-taught, and when I was studying university in Prague, I had this job next to it, which was teaching guitar, ukulele, and electric guitar, and I kind of made and designed my own method of teaching, which is more focused on the student itself, meaning that it's super important to understand why the student starts playing guitar or playing piano. What's the goal? Do you want to start a band? Do you want to, I don't know, play and with your friends around the fire, or do you want to just play because you have small kids and you want to bring them to music? So I think it's super important to understand these goals and then make tailor-made custom learning path for each student so they can actually focus on the music that they love, and and kind of teach them why they started. So after I finished my university, I started a physical music school in Prague. That was 6 years ago, where it's still running. It's very successful. We have more than 200 students.
Wow.
We teach one-on-one lessons with 20 teachers, and it's kind of more modern way. It's not those teachers that are teaching are active musicians who play in bands and are teaching in a very practical way, right? So
I
that was my first business right after school, and it was already called Art Master.
Oh wow. So you've been working on this for quite some time, not only your skills, but the idea I'm sure kind of bubbled in your head. Did it come out of nowhere and you just jumped on it, or did you kind of let it marinate for a little bit?
I was thinking about it my whole, like I was studying for 6 years my university, and I didn't understand why there isn't any school that would teach in this, because I feel it's a natural way how to learn, right?
Yeah.
To really focus on individual needs and wishes of the students. So I kind of felt it's natural way how to teach or provide some teaching. So yeah, I was thinking about it my whole university, and then when I finished, I was like, okay, I can even go and get a job, or I can just try, risk a little bit and start my own business. So I started this physical music school, and yeah, it was successful right from the beginning. People loved it, and it's still successful right now. We still have it. We don't run it. I have like a different director who runs it right now, but it's still successful. And that was my first business, which was already called Art Master. Then during COVID, we had to shut down the school for a bit, right? Didn't know
Right.
for how long.
The the
So
the time everything became digital.
yeah, so we expanded into the digital world as well, and so we took everything we learned from the music school and started preparing these very practical, well-structured video online courses, something like masterclass, but much more educational. So we prepare these very well-structured courses with a very short format video lessons. So even if you have only 10, 15 minutes, you can do like a quick lesson in the evening as
Oh,
an
wow.
adult and just learn a song or something new. And we started in Czech Republic. We did really well in the beginning. We sold more than 10,000 of the courses, worth I think $400,000 or $500,000 just in our
Wow.
country, which is very small country. I come from Czech Republic. There's only 10 million of us. It's like half of Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
so, so it was quite success for our small nation, and that's when actually first investors came to us.
So
And
I have a quick question. Um, when you're getting all of these, I guess, subscriptions or people are buying the courses, do you see a majority of, because I know you were talking about kind of molding it into a custom, do you see more of the younger generation or the older generation getting into it? Because I know, like, I have a 9-year-old who would learn in a heartbeat on, you know, she watches all these shorts and all these videos, and she's more online rather than some old school people who physically need somebody there.
yeah, well, our product is more designed for adults. We have some kids as well, but our biggest groups for this product, these online video courses are usually the biggest group is people between 25 and 40 years old who kind of always had this small dream in the back of their heads to play the piano or learn their favorite song, but never actually did the first steps. So these and now, because they have their first job or they're starting family, they have a little bit of time, a little bit of money, so they can afford to buy the guitar and they can start. And because it's online, it's video course, they can play it from your phone, you can play it from your computer, anywhere, anytime, so it's super accessible. And yeah, so this is big group, and then another big group is 55 plus.
Okay.
So we call them, how do we call them? It's we call them emptiness group,
Okay.
when kids leave, and they kind of have some extra time to spend on their hobbies, onto educating themselves something new,
Yeah.
right? So these two groups are quite big in our in these online video courses, right? So what we did was we got approached by first investors. One of them is actually from US. He's CEO of Warner Music Group. His name is Robert Kinsel. The second
Okay.
one is co-founder of Beat Saber. It's like the virtual reality game where you cut the bricks into the rhythm of the music. And they liked what we were doing, and they were like, maybe guys, you should try have little higher ambition and try to build something global. So we started to build artmaster.com, where we would do courses in English with a global ambition, right? So that's when we started to come to Los Angeles more, because most of our teachers are from Los Angeles. We have interesting names like Prince Board, who is a songwriter for Black Eyed Peas. He wrote like "Where Is the Love" or "Don't Funk with My Heart." So we did songwriting course with him for
Wow.
total beginners, how to write your first song. We collaborated with Chris Kasich, who was a Grammy Award-winning recording engineer. He recorded Adele, for example, and many more like these. So we're trying to find the best teacher, and the best teacher for us is someone who has the enthusiasm, who can motivate people, speak very well, but also has a lot of practical experience, right? So
Yeah, I love to hear the range and the growth of this. Like, they said to you, go global. So going from adult, kind of music classes and lessons only to now you're talking about writing, you're talking about engineering. These are things that one song, one hit, one right look can change your life. So imagine, going through that. And have you seen any results like that as of now?
well, there was one small problem that we didn't count for, and it was, when we were doing business in our small country, there was no competition, acquisition costs are low. It's quite easy actually. But when you go global, you start competing with the whole world, right? So internationally, there's tens of thousands of similar courses who, teach you the same thing, how to play guitar, piano, how to produce music, etc. So we were trying to be different in the quality of those teachers that we were looking for, and also with the video quality. Like, we really, if you go to artmaster.com and like play any teaser, you can see it's like film
Yeah.
quality, very well done, with super well audio as well. But also, so we were trying to mix all of these, things that we liked about our courses, which is the best teacher we can find, super quality film quality production, structured course into short videos, so it's well digestible, right? But even with all of these, it's kind of hard to grow competing with all the competition. So it's still growing, we have new students there, but we kind of realized one problem, and that's when beginner is learning from YouTube or video online courses, there's a problem that there's no feedback. And feedback is super valuable
Yeah.
to beginner, because sometimes you get stuck and you don't know what to do next, you don't know what's your problem, what you should work on. So that's when we realized, okay, we should do something about it. So because the AI technology is here, and we can actually utilize it and use it for this kind of AI teacher that we are building right now. So we assembled a completely new development team, mostly around machine learning engineers, and we started to build the world's first AI music teacher. His name's Artie, and it's something we've been working on for past half a year, and we will be launching it in summer globally. So the idea is that this AI teacher, he actively listens to everything you play and provide you real-time feedback, like a real human teacher would, right? So there's no pre-designed structure of the course or curriculum. There's your first lesson with a teacher usually looks like something like this. He asks you, or she asks you,
Yeah.
what kind of music do you like? So you can play the music you love from the first moment, right? So our AI teacher does completely the same. And then when you start playing the songs, the first exercises, real teacher wouldn't give you score like, okay, it's 4 stars out of 5 stars, or it's 90% well done. Real teacher would tell you, okay, you have some problems here with tone accuracy, but I think you should concentrate on rhythm, because that's the biggest challenge for you right now, and you have to overcome it. So here's exercise for rhythm, specifically designed just for you, so you can progress as fast as possible.
Um,
So
I have so many questions coming through my mind because it's exciting, and you put yourself, when you hear about programs like this, you put yourself in that situation, like, okay, I'm sitting here, I want to learn. I have a guitar, I want to dust it off, I want to learn how to play it for the first time. Um, do you guys, how, because I know it's very tricky, especially here in the US with the music licensing, and how does that work in the sense of catalog wise, right? Because you want to play your favorite song. So how does that become a reality, or are they limited?
Yeah, so I think you that's a very great question, because you want to teach the songs that people love, and it's usually, but this we don't own these songs, right? So we have to kind of make a deal with either the organizations like BMI, for example, which we have already deal with them for our online video courses, right? We are not playing any famous songs. We're just using those famous songs to teach people, right? So we have a deal with BMI, for example, where we every month, we or every quarter, sorry, we send them report of the songs that we teach in our courses, and we share our revenue with them, with the authors of the songs, right? So they get like small revenue share from all the subscriptions and all everything we sell during that quarter, which goes then BMI redistributes to, I hope, redistributes to its authors, right? So right now we are pretty small, so we have this deal with BMI, but other bigger, educational music educational applications and other competitors, they have deals with publishers as well. So then you can make like a broad wide deal for the whole library of their
Right.
music, and you pay some kind of fee. We are now too small, so they don't even talk to us. So we hope that once we launch the product with the AI teacher and we get some traction and get bigger, we can start talking to these as well, so we can use as many famous songs as we can.
I know you just mentioned Artie. um, Tell us a little bit more about the idea of Artie and how Artie basically is the face of the brand, right? Or the voice.
Right now it is the project that we focus 100% of our attention to, because it's something that hasn't been done yet. We don't see any competition building anything similar, so there's this huge opportunity to be the first mover on the market. And so we're working very hard to get it to the market as soon as possible. So it will be like a phone app, like a
Yeah.
iOS app at first, or on your iPad you can play it as well, later on all the other platforms as well. And it's basically an like a AI teacher. So he has his own personality, he has his own voice. That's something super important. This is a super interesting topic, because we have in our team we have a behavioral psychologist who is helping us to design the personality of RT, right? Because different cultures have different expectations for
Yes.
motivation, for reward, some kind of reward system when you do something right. So RT will act little different on the US market and will act different in Southeast Asia, right? And he will he will have to be able to actually accommodate and shape his personality so it fits the local culture, right? I'll give you an example, right? So in US, as I perceive it, in US everything's amazing and awesome. Like even if you do bunch of mistakes, it's like perfect, very well,
Awesome. It's
awesome. Yeah.
great.
In my country, if I would play a guitar and I knew I made a lot of mistakes and my teacher would tell me that I'm amazing and awesome, I would it would be very weird for me. I'd be like, why are you saying these things? It's not true. And you know, we need people to we need to build trust between RT and his students, right? So it's kind of interesting area that we also need to consider, and it's the psychology of the personality design, not just voice, but how he reacts to you, and when does he when does he tell you it's awesome and when he doesn't, right? So
Yeah, because I'm
so
sure that for my daughter's generation, it's more Riz than
RT is not
Riz
ready for Gen Z yet,
is not
but
ready for Gen Z.
but it I think like we should probably start, we should notice who he is talking to, and if it's Gen Z, we'll need to hire some Gen Z, copywriters, probably.
Oh, that's phenomenal. And you guys have been working on Artie now for a minute. Is there any set or goal date for Artie to finally launch or go into beta with, some testers?
Yeah, so we are already collecting wait list from some first users that then we will use for testing. So right now on our website at artmaster.com/rt, you can actually put your email if you want to be the first adopter and first user, and we will use these to be our testers as well. So people who sign up for the waitlist now can try the product for free, and they will be the first ones to do so. So if anyone from your listeners likes to try this and likes the technology, AI technology, and is like likes trying new things, then yeah, I encourage anyone to provide their email, and when the beta is out, like they can try it out, and they will be the first ones in the world to try it out. And then we will soft launch it in July, just to some smaller circle of people. Then we will perfect the product, and then in September there will be launch mainly in North America and Europe.
That's amazing. It must be really exciting too, taking this whole path and journey that you've taken to now creating basically, like you said, the first AI music teacher, which is, AI, all you hear about it is left and right. And to have it get into this type of space and this type of way, I think is very interesting. What are some of your, after the soft launch, after everything, what are some of those global ambitions that we have for Artie?
Well, my biggest ambition is that Artie can actually really help people who cannot, for example, afford to go with one-on-one lessons. For example, I just came back from San Francisco. Like one lesson with a teacher costs up to $100, right? So I imagine there's not many people who can afford this. And the other alternative is learning from these video courses or YouTube, but then it's kind of disorganized. You don't know actually what you're doing wrong. There's no feedback. So what we're hoping for, that we will fill this gap between like real teachers, real human teachers, and the video online courses and YouTube. So we want to offer something that provides you with valuable feedback, which is personalized to you, right? So every person is different, and every person is talented for something else, even in music, right? So the goal is to offer something that helps you directly
Yeah.
with your problem, so you can play as soon as possible. And our goal, or the ambition, is to it will not be expensive. I think it will be around $10 a month, and you can just play with him
Wow.
3 times a week, or how often do you want. So the goal is to help people to actually start playing, right? So even in US, like the price is not the only obstacle or barrier. It's also the scheduling, and logistics nightmare of some people. You need to
Yeah.
drive like for an hour somewhere, you don't have time for it, so it not only takes a lot of time but money as well. So we want to offer something that's much more accessible. It's in your phone. You can use it anytime you want, and you can receive the valuable feedback which should help you to progress.
No, I love everything about this, and music makes the world go round and connects everybody. So to have this type of growth and connection all in one is amazing. So I know that I'm going to go sign up at artmaster.com because I want one of the betas. I'm going to learn how to play that guitar if it's the last thing I do. Um, you can also sign up artmaster.com, correct? And
Yeah.
that's where they can sign up for the beta. And let us know where they can contact you, where if people have money that they want to give to you, if there's anybody who is, can help Artie out, how can they get in contact with you? It's the best way.
You mean like an investor or like a regular
Just in
people?
general, how can they get in touch with you or follow Artie's journey?
Well, for us, it's just by following what we're doing. Even on Instagram, Artie has his own account. Artie, the AI teacher, AI music teacher. He has his own account where you can follow his, news and what he's been up to as an AI teacher. And yeah, the biggest support for us is, just join our ride, try to help us maybe test the product and give us honest feedback like, is this helpful for you? And maybe even share about it. Like that's the biggest help we can get right now.
That's amazing. We'll definitely be looking out, and hopefully, after that soft launch in July, I'm gonna make sure that we get more updates with you. So we'll have you back on the podcast because I want to hear all about the launch and how it went. Because I know that as a founder, those are beautiful moments where you have to enjoy the journey, like they say. Not all just work, but a little enjoyment too. That goes a long way.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us today. We look forward to seeing what you guys at Art Masters and Artie also have in store for us in the coming months. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the invitation. It was fun talking to you.